something important is beginning to take shape in the global economy. One of the world's largest electric vehicle manufacturers is now exploring the possibility of building a factory in Canada. And this is not just another investment headline. It is a signal that global companies are actively reassessing where they invest, and Canada is increasingly part of that conversation. Reports suggest that BYD, one of the fastest-growing electric vehicle companies in the world, has shown interest in establishing a manufacturing presence in Canada. While no final decision has been announced, even this level of consideration reflects something meaningful. It suggests that Canada is being evaluated as a potential destination for large-scale industrial investment.
China's largest car maker, BYD, tells Bloomberg it's open to building a manufacturing facility in Canada. Let's go to Flavia Volpe on this, president of the Automotive Parts Manufacturers Association. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Could this be a good thing if Canadian workers get hired?
Yes, but let's make the distinction between what we know as assembly plants here in Canada, which is the car makers building cars and then sourcing parts here and sourcing raw materials, and what BYD and other companies have done in places like Brazil, where they do complete knockdown kits, which is send all the materials and all of the components in from China, and then have less workers assemble them here with no supply chain opportunities. Eager to hear what they're thinking.
This kind of development aligns with the broader economic direction being pursued by Mark Carney. His approach is focused on expanding trade relationships, encouraging investment, and positioning Canada as a stable and reliable place for long-term business activity. These shifts do not happen overnight. Major companies like BYD typically assess multiple factors before making any move. These include market access, regulatory environment, workforce skills, infrastructure, and long-term policy stability. So when a company of this scale begins exploring a country, it usually reflects a wider evaluation process rather than a single decision point. If such an investment were to move forward, the potential benefits could be significant. A manufacturing facility can create direct employment opportunities, from engineering and technical roles to operations and management. Beyond that, it can support indirect jobs through supply chains, logistics, and local services. There is also a broader economic impact to consider. Large-scale manufacturing projects often contribute to the development of industrial ecosystems. Over time, this can attract additional companies, encourage specialization, and support regional economic growth. Another aspect is consumer impact. BYD has built its global presence partly on producing relatively affordable electric vehicles. If production were to take place in Canada, it could potentially influence pricing, availability, and adoption rates in the local market. However, the exact impact would depend on many factors, including production scale, policy incentives, and market demand.
The other thing that is important is if you're making cars in Canada, you're making them because you're accessing the U.S. market and the Mexican market. So you're meeting the USMCA standard of 75% local content. If you do CKDs or even a full assembly in Canada, but you're not exporting them, there is no local content requirement. So again, the devil is in the details. I think it's a good news that one of the world's biggest automakers say they want to make cars here in Canada, but are they going to use the same business model that the Western automakers use?
At the same time, there are important questions around how such a project would be structured. In some markets, companies have adopted assembly-based models, where key components are imported and final assembly takes place locally. This approach can limit the development of deeper supply chains. Whether that model would apply in Canada remains uncertain. Much would depend on negotiations, regulatory frameworks, and long-term business goals. Canada brings several advantages to the table, including access to critical raw materials, a skilled workforce, and proximity to major North American markets. These factors could support a more integrated manufacturing approach, but outcomes like this are typically shaped through detailed discussions between governments and companies. It is also worth noting that the global electric vehicle market is currently going through a period of adjustment. Some manufacturers are reevaluating expansion plans, while policy changes in different countries have created uncertainty. In that context, countries that offer stability and clear long-term direction may become more attractive to investors. Stepping back, this situation is not just about one company or one potential factory. It reflects a broader trend in the global economy, where investment decisions are increasingly influenced by stability, diversification, and long-term planning. Canada's role in that landscape appears to be evolving. Traditionally known for its natural resources, it is now also being considered in discussions around advanced manufacturing and clean technology. Whether this particular project moves forward or not, the underlying signal remains important. Global companies are paying attention, and Canada is part of the conversation. If you want clear, balanced analysis of global trade, investment trends, and the shifting economic landscape, make sure to subscribe to the channel and stay updated with our latest reports.